Hello friends, it's Sheree. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. So glad you're here. I'm in my craft room today working on these strawberry journals, having a lot of fun. So I wanted to just share with you my progress. I had a video yesterday where I was working on, or I was just showing you what I had stashed away for these. And so I went ahead and cut up that tea towel and I was able to get two covers out of it. So I went ahead and put those together. So it has the tea towel. Let me just take this out real quick. Inside and out. Here's the inside. So pretty, right? Here's the red border that was on one end of the tea towel. I put that out on the bottom. It looked like a good foundation base for the journal. And then I added this rickrack on the front and back. There's a little string there. But front and back of the top here, it just looked like it needed something, and I think it balances out with the red down here and looks really pretty. When I did the first one, I had the other one next to it, and I was like, oh, it looks so much better with the rickrack. So that's where I am with the covers for the moment. Oh, I did sew around with red thread here, just a straight stitch all the way around the outside there on both of them. And then I started gathering the pages. So far, I didn't show you this. I knew I had these, but I know I have other things that I didn't have in the strawberry stash. So I went and got my strawberry scrapbook paper, which is this piece right here. I had two of them, thank goodness, since I'm making two journals. And went ahead. It has ladybugs on the back, so cute. And this page is going to have pockets, and I did sew those down for both the journals. And then I have a strawberry shortcake page, which I had some strawberry shortcake pages that were, from the book that I showed you, that were single pages and some were double. So I figured out what was what there. So I went ahead and put one in here, one of the singles. And then this was, the front and back end page was like this of the strawberry shortcake book, which is so pretty. So I put one of those in each. And this one was plain on the back and has the copyright 1983. I have, when I was looking for this paper here, which is red and white gingham, stationery, I found these little pieces of, it used to be like a checkbook or a check, budget kind of organization deal. And so I had found these at a thrift store, and these were pink. So I pulled out two of these, one for each journal. So I have that in there. And today I'm going to show you how I put these, and how and why I put the envelopes in here like this. So the next page is going to be a double envelope, and it opens on the outside here. So things can be tucked in there. So those are pink envelopes. And then the next page is going to be the center page. Now I'm going to put more pages in here. This is where I'm at. So I took one of the double pages from the Strawberry Shortcake book, cut it down so it would fit in here. So I'd have a pretty little center page. So this is going to be the center of this signature. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that's that one so far, which came from this cover. And I'll just show you. This says the same things. But here's the little one-page strawberry shortcake in here, the end page. And here's the center piece of this one. Wait a minute, let me find it. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? I love all the color. I love all the color in this strawberry shortcake book. I think this is the only one I have, so I hope I'm going to keep that in my head, and hopefully I'll find another one, because by the time I end up, I think I'll have a few pages left, but still, it's just so cute. So let's see. I was looking around my craft room, and I kind of have some things in my head that I want to put in here. So like the gingham page was one of them. And since I didn't necessarily have to go gingham scrapbook paper, because I have, like what I do, if you haven't seen my journals before, I usually put a piece of cardstock scrapbook paper on the outside of the journal, and then papery parts inside. So I feel like the harder, thicker cardstock protects all the pages inside. So my goal usually is to have paper inside. Okay, so let's see. I had 2 of these and I was picturing gingham in my head, so this is a little, and I'll do like different size pages too, usually. So unless I think the, sometimes if I'm using a book for a cover, it will give me, I just get certain vibes where all the pages should be the same size, especially if it's a smaller book. I might make all the pages the same size, but when I have, a little bit more room, I will certainly put different size pages in there. So let's see. Did I do that right? Let's put this here because there's a plain bit right here, so I need some color there. So we've got those in. I also found these were inside of those little check organization folders. They're little, they say canceled check record, never used, vintage. Did it have a date? I don't see one here, but anyway, I thought those were cute little pieces of ephemera that I just found in my stash, of course. And so I'm going to put these out here so I can stick those in a pocket. I also went through some of my recipe cards and found these 2 with strawberries on them. This one's a coffee cake, and this one is fruit yogurt dip. There's the strawberries right there. There's the fruit yogurt, and those look like chocolate there, chocolate covered strawberries or something. Anyway, really pretty little recipe cards I can stick in there. And so with the envelope, here's what I did. Now I might sew it. I haven't sewed it yet. I might go ahead and sew here on the envelope, but let me keep that one in there. So what I did, okay, these are different. Hold on. This one's like the ones I just had, but this one's a little different. Let me see if I can find another one like this. Hold on. I thought it was the same. I have a lot of pink envelopes. Here we go. So I thought that's why I would use some pink in here. And also I like to have, like in my own personal journal, I like to have a big pocket to stick in my extra like scraps, so I have them handy. Or I can stick ephemera in there, whatever. So what I did to join these, because I want the pockets on the outside, you could do this. You could just glue your flap together and like say you have it like that, or let's see, how would you have it? Like something like this. Maybe you glue a flap together and then say maybe, I don't know if you would tuck this in or whatever, but see how the space is not, when you have this bound, you're not going to have very much space there. So I said, let me turn it around and then you'll have plenty of space to get in and out. This can be a writing surface or decorate or whatever you want to do, photos, mementos, whatever you want to put in here. But what I did was just take one of the envelopes and fold over a little edge, just enough to glue down. And my intent was to sew on it. I just haven't done it yet. I wanted to glue it down so it would stay in place while I when I go to sew it. You know what I mean? So can you see, like, if I were to take this over like this and like try to sew on it, and it could get, whopper-jawed or kind of like, out of place. So I thought, let me just glue it down. Then when I go sew it, if I want to sew on it, it will stay in place. So I just put a little glue on this little flap right here on the inside of it. I mean, super simple, right? But a way to use these envelopes that don't have a big opening. Of course, you can glue it on a page where it flips out, out of the journal, like out of the page. I do that a lot too. But I wanted to have some big pockets in here. I've just reminded myself of that recently, that how much I, by working in my own journals, how much I like to have those big pockets. They come in really handy, and I have a couple in my Mimi's journal that I made. So that whenever I work in that one, that reminds me of that. So let's see. So that's plenty of glue on there. If I didn't want to sew on it, it would still be fine. But I kind of want to sew on it a little bit more right there. But like I said, I'm going to sew on it, so it doesn't matter. But I'll put a little bit more right there, just for the video's sake, that it's glued down completely. And what if I change my mind? What if I decide not to sew on it? So that is the way that is going. I don't want to put it, well, yeah, let me let that dry for a minute before I put it inside, because I don't want anything to get stuck. There's a little bit of glue right there, like, you know, so it could get stuck on something. Let me grab a tissue. So the other things I pulled out, so we put in the stationery. I pulled this out. Like in my head, I kind of like picture colors and papers I want to put in here. So I knew I wanted to put this in here, so I went ahead and pulled these out. These are white on the back. Then I looked around my craft room. Like I still need to do some more looking around my craft room, because I know I have things that I might want to use in here. And so I still have to do a little searching in my craft room. But I pulled these two pieces out. These are tie-dyed paper. If you're new to my channel, a while ago, like a year or two ago, it might have only been a year ago that I did these, but I had some leftover tie-dye from a project, and I used it to tie-dye some papers. And then I actually bought some more tie-dye and did some more, and I think they're really pretty. So I use food coloring, but I also have tie-dye that I use for coloring papers. And I pulled these out for some lined paper in here. These are composition book pages, but they're nice and wide. So they're nice to use. You know, you can get this nice wide 2-page piece of paper for a journal. And this is food color dyed. So I have 2 of those, one for each. I did find another strawberry piece of scrapbook paper, which is cardstock, but only one. So we'll see what I do with this. It's like pretty strips on this side and strawberries on this side. So I have that I found. I also got out my seed packets, which I was looking to see if I had any strawberry seed packets, but I did not. No fruit, but I had bought, and I haven't used any of these because I haven't figured out what I wanted to do with them. But I have some seed packets that were never used that I bought a few years ago. And I decided I should, go ahead and do something with some of those. So I pulled out these 2 pretty flowery seed packets that I want to use in here. So I think those are pretty. So let's see if we can have time to see. I think my envelope might be dry enough now. The white glue has turned clear there. So let's see how this fits in the other journal. I did measure the other one, the one I already showed you and I already did. I measured that in the journal to make sure it fit in the journal and didn't stick out before I did it. So this one should fit perfectly. I am using, for any sewing in here, I'm using red thread, so I think that's fun. But yeah, these envelopes just kind of fit in here perfectly. So there we go. We have our envelope page. So this is coming together. This is going to come together pretty quickly. And then I'll do some decorating and things. So these pages right here, the scrapbook paper, I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And let me put my lid in my glue real quick. And it has, each one has this on the back, but I just cover it up or make pockets. So that's what I'm going to do with these pages. I'm going to make pockets. I have the one pocket here, and I'll have this pocket, and then I have the envelope pocket. So plenty of pockets, I would say. So let's, I'm just measuring by, when I do the pockets, say, go something like this, take my cover, and then I'll fold this up like this. Okay, and then I see how, where I need to fold. And let's do the other one. So that completely covers up that little branding there that they have on each of these scrapbook papers if you just want to make pockets in the back of them. Or I have also just covered them up with a little cluster or embellishment of some kind too. So not a big deal if they have that branding on there. And then these pockets are of course too big, so I cut them down a little bit. Let's see. So we'll just get a few more pages in here. All the ones I just showed you, and then I will be back to another day too. Let's keep that. That's pretty. And I'll be back to do decorating and putting some ephemera in. Unless I just, you know, go to town and finish it, and I'll come back with the flip through. I have done that many a time. So, like I after the video yesterday, I just couldn't wait to see how the cover was going to come together. So I went ahead and cut the fabric right after the video, and went ahead and cut it and got the covers together. And then I was telling someone that contacted me about one of the journals that, yeah, I just couldn't wait to work on the covers again. So before work yesterday, I went and sewed around the journal so I could see how they, you know, looked sewn together with the thread and everything. So here are the pockets. So they're too wide at this point. You know, you can probably kind of see that see how wide they are. So I got to cut a little bit off here on each edge. So I already did that with the front, this page here. I had to cut a little strip off. So it ended up being like 1/2 inch or so. So, like as you can see, I'm not using any rulers. I'm just kind of, usually I just kind of measure with my fingernail like that. Yeah, I need to cut right there and kind of line it up in my paper cutter. Cut that off, and we'll see how it fits in there. Let's do this one while we're at it. And I keep all these little strips because I like to make those little strips that decorate. I use to decorate. I'll show you right here. They come together really pretty, and use them. You know, you can use them as tabs or just little edged page decorations. But here's what I've been doing with my strips lately, and aren't those pretty? So they're sewn together. So let's cut this. If I get too many strips, I will put some in my my shop, but I don't have any in there right now. If you want some, let me know, and I'll go ahead and stick some in there because I have plenty, but I just haven't put any in my shop because, you know, I'm just trying to put things in there that you know, a little bit at a time. So okay, I think those are going to fit now. What I do before I sew or glue the edges down here is just take these and cut a little triangle out of the middle. If you saw what I did, if you've never seen this done before, I'm sure you have, but I just folded my pocket down, put my page back together like that in half, cut a little triangle, bigger part on the bottom, you know, pointy part toward the top of the pocket like that, and that takes a little bulk out of your pocket. And also, you don't glue that down, and it makes it easier to get things in and out of there, and you don't have that bulk in the middle of where you're, you know, you're folding and binding and all that stuff. So, and I think it looks pretty too, so I always do that. Usually, like 99.9% of the time. Once in a great while, I don't for some reason, if I have a reason not to cut it, but usually I do. So, got one of those for each one. Let's see where they might look pretty. And then that adds some prettiness to the white back of the, you know, you don't have a plain white back now. You have a pretty colorful pocket there. So, yeah, I think that works out well. So we have a regular size page, you know, smaller, regular, smaller, regular. So let's see. Now we're going to put more papers in here. So for the moment, we're going to put it, let's put it right here, since we have an envelope there, and that's a pocket. I don't need another pocket right there. So I might put it right here. I just want to see how it fits for a moment before I glue those pockets together. See, it fits in there nicely. So we are good to glue or sew or whatever. Well, let's put that back in there. So now I would just glue the little sides down here. And if you're going to, something like that, you don't have to. If you're going to sew, you don't have to glue because it's not going anywhere. It's not going to move. It's a fold. You're not just placing it on there, you know. But, you know, sometimes I don't know if I'm going to sew or not, so I'll go ahead and glue it down, and then if I decide to sew, I will, you know, if you know what I mean. So, see, there's that branding. We cut part of it off, but the other part's still there, and it's covered up, and it's all hunky-dory. I need some room. Okay. There we go. Pretty, and this can be decorated too by me or the person that gets the journal. So yeah, one of these journals is spoken for. Someone, like I said, messaged me yesterday, so thank you for that. I appreciate it a lot, very, very much. And I'm glad I'm making two now. I didn't know, you know, that somebody was going to want one, so that's awesome. And you can message me if you need to email me or message me. Oops, let me get this down. My email is always below in my contact me, where you can contact me section, or you can message me in my eBay shop, which is Sheree shop, and I have that. I try to always have that below. Okay, so we have it in one. Let's put, oh no, I was just measuring. We don't have it in either one. Okay, so I don't want it right next to that pocket. I'm going to put it right here for now. And then I'll put that back. It's looking beautiful. I'm picturing in my head, I haven't got it out yet, but I'm picturing some rickrack in here. I mean, not rickrack, pom-pom trim. And I have, let's see, what is missing here? I'm not sure, something's missing, but I'll figure it out later. So let's just put this, because there's something in between. What's in between that one? Oh, where's my, hold on. Okay, let's see, I think I don't think I have these in the order I want them, but I'm going to go ahead and put this in there for right now, and then I'll figure that out later. Reorder the pages. I just wanted to show you that it fits in there nicely. Okay. I did make the covers with just file folder in between, so it's you know, you wouldn't want to fold it or anything, but it's nice and sturdy, but it's not too like a book cover, like hard. You know, it's kind of like, you can see it kind of bends, but you wouldn't want to fold or anything, because then you'll have a fold in your cover. So let's see if we can get these in here so we can see how these come out. So since the fold is already in the middle, I'm going to keep it in the middle. This paper is just, you know, composition book paper, so great for writing. I think you could probably glue on it if you wanted to, but I usually like to make pockets in thicker paper like I did with that flower paper. This is kind of in-between paper and cardstock. It's thicker paper, so let's kind of measure here with the journal and the pages I already have in here to see how we want to cut these and fold these and things like that. So I was thinking that I would just put it like this, you know, got my fold, and then I would have fold ins or fold outs. Right now I'm folding in, but they will be fold outs on either side. And so I'll try to get those square, nice straight lines and fold those so you have little, you know, little fold outs, something little. You have pockets, we have fold outs, we have different size pages now. We have lined paper, we have some plain paper, so a little bit of everything, and all in this matter of, you know, not that many pages because it's a single signature journal. So now I'm going to cut the bottom off. Let me make sure this is square first. Okay, make a nice fold there. And then, so I'm going to measure again with my pages and my fingernail about right there. Let's see, about right there. Cut the bottom of this off. And you could probably do two at the same time, but I didn't. I just did one. So there we go. So this will go, so if we put it in here, let's see how I have, this is the one I think I need to, so I need to rearrange. So I've got long, short, envelope, this one, and then this in the middle. So These colors look so pretty together. Let's put this one here. And then that one. Oh, I think I want this one here. I just really like this together. The blue and the blue flowers over here. Looks so pretty. I kind of don't want to separate that. Oh yeah, that looks good. Pink and this pink looks, oh, that looks really pretty. Your eyes tell you what to do a lot of times, right? Your eyes tell you. That looks pretty, right? Oh yeah, that looked beautiful. Okay, now let's see this one. First we got to cut. I hope you don't mind, we're doing two. But sometimes it's worth repeating. It's, you know, some people are new and I know when I'm watching something new, I'm like, how did she do that? You know, again? how, and then they do it again. I'm like, oh good, she's doing it again. Now I can figure it out, right? So, again, just doing my little folds. Yeah, this was food color dyed. And this is kind of one of my my go-tos for color. I just keep some spray bottles here in my craft room. And when I want to food color some paper, I just take it into the other room where I have a table that I set up, I kind of set up permanently to go and quick do some food coloring or any kind of coffee dyeing or whatever. And I go in there and spritz away. Sometimes I'll turn it over. Sometimes it goes through, you know, so you only have to do it on one side, and then it goes through, and both sides are dyed. Or sometimes I have to do one side, let it dry, and turn it over. Or sometimes I'll just spray one side, turn it over right then and there, and do the other side. It just depends on what kind of paper you're trying to color. As to, you kind of just got to play it by ear and look at it and see, is it gonna go through? Do I need to turn it over? That type of thing. So on the other one, we put this right here, pretty much. Oh, I know what it was in the other one. This one had this page in the other book has something here, but this one has the copyright. This one is plain on the back, so open for decorating. Okay, so that's that page. And then these beautiful tie-dye pages, we're just going to fold in half. This should fit just like this, the width, but I'm going to need to cut the length. And so I'm going to do that real quick and try to do them both to see the width is perfect. 8.5 by 11 piece of paper in here is perfect. And the 6-inch, you know, on the 12 by 12, folding in half, that was perfect too. To fold it in half and be able to, I did cut a little bit off though, but it was just about perfect to fold in half and not have too much scrap. So let's see. Let me see if I can make sure of the length here. Let's see, I want it to be a little bit smaller than my cover if I can. So about right there. And we'll see where we put these. And then I'm going to go look through my papers again. I kind of would like to have, I don't know, I have something in my head. I don't want to say what it is though, in case I don't do it. In case I can't, you know. I kind of want to do something else so fun with the pages. Okay, so we've got, let's see where we might want this. Let me see, what do I have as a second page on here? Oh, let's see what I did. Okay. I kind of like the way that one's set up, so let me try this. I don't like that there though. I like this here. Okay. I like this next to this plain text here. Then you have some color here. You know, this is plain, and you have color here. This is plain, and you have these two pieces. Let's see what else we have here. Any pages that need to be separated? Not really. So let's put this here. One of these. I guess they'll be different because the different fronts and backs of papers, you know, go together because they're not all exactly the same as far as the book pages. Okay, so this one we have the long, short, long. That looks really pretty together. I said that looks pretty together. this and this. So right here, I think would be good for this one. And that's my timer telling me time to go, Sheree. So anyway, we got all the pages in there. Hope you enjoyed the progress. And I will be putting more pages. I have to count and see how many I have in here. But whatever that ends up being, I'll make sure I have a certain number in my head of papers. And that's what I go for. So I think I'm about probably over halfway there. So we'll see. I'll count them and let you know how it goes. Thanks for watching. I have something really special for tomorrow coming up and something a little different. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in my next video. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you then.